Hey guys, today I'm going to be sharing with you some supplements that we are adding in to our homeschool year. I just made some changes, decided to add a few things, so now I'm going to share it with you. The first thing up is I have an upcoming 5th grader who loves to read, who loves to write, all of the above. She goes through books absolutely like crazy, like all summer long, all the time. She is constantly going through books. I decided that I really needed to slow her down so that she can really dive into those books, assess them, analyze them, all of the things when it comes to reading literature. So we are going to be doing literature studies by moving beyond the page. The first literature study that we are going to be doing is Miss Frisbee and the Rats of Nim. I ordered this off of either christianbook.com or Rainbow Resources. I'll link it down below. But this is for ages 8 to 10. And we are just going to dive into this book. I'm going to give her an opportunity to read it. There are so many amazing ways to assess the reading within these moving beyond the page literature studies. So I'm really excited about that. My hope is that I can actually read the book with her, that maybe we can make this read aloud time for she and I. I don't really have a plan all set out for how our school year is going to go and how we're going to address every piece of curriculum. So if you're interested in that, make sure you just subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss that, because I will definitely share how I will be fitting these resources into our new upcoming school year. So here is the book. I did buy this off of Amazon. As I said, this is Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim. If you haven't heard of it before, here it says, Miss Frisbee, a widowed mouse with 4 small children, must move her family to their summer quarters immediately or face almost certain death. But her youngest son, Timothy, lies ill with pneumonia and must not be moved. Fortunately, she encounters the Rats of Nim, an extraordinary breed of highly intelligent creatures who come up with a brilliant solution to her dilemma. This was recommended to me by Jennifer over at Family of 3 Homeschool. I am excited to dive into this, and I definitely think this is going to be one of the literature studies that my oldest daughter really needs to help her just really dive into the literature in a different way. Now she's reading for leisure and she's loving it. She will definitely love this book, but we're adding a little piece to it. Not book report quite, but just a literature study. That will be her first literature study that we'll do for the year. I also have another one. This one is My Side of the Mountain. I've heard nothing but amazing reviews about this book. So we are going to have this one for our second one. Now, if you'll notice, this one says ages 9 to 11. So I'm stepping it up a little bit. With each of the literature studies, it's a little bit more advanced. My daughter is excellent at writing, excellent at reading, telling the story, plot, characters, all of the things when it comes to reading. So this is really just to help her think outside of the box and give her a little bit more in-depth information and thought-provoking questions for the literature that she's reading, and to slow her down because she blazes through books like crazy. But this is how we're going to do it, and I think she'll enjoy it as well. So I have that one, My Side of the Mountain. This says, Sam Gribley is terribly unhappy living in his family's crowded New York City apartment. So, armed with just the bare necessities, a penknife, a ball of cord, some flint and steel, and the clothes on his back, he runs away to the mountains. There, Sam must rely on his own ingenuity and the resources of the great outdoors to survive. And he discovers a side of himself he never knew existed. I'm excited about this one too. And the last literature study, well, I say the last. This is the last one that I have. I don't know if it'll be the last one for the year, but it is Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. I've also heard amazing things about this book. I thought I would grab it. If you'll notice, this one says ages 10 to 12, so we're stepping it up even a little bit more. It's also a lot thicker than the other studies as well. This will once again give her an opportunity to really dive into some literature studies this year. And just, I think she's going to have a different perspective about what reading a book really entails, what it feels like, and how you can just bring it to life even more when you start getting thought-provoking questions and really having to assess how you feel about that specific piece of literature. So I have here Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. This is the book. I bought this off of Amazon. It says, why is the land so important to Cassie's family? It takes the events of one turbulent year, the year of the Night Riders and the burnings, the year, a white girl humiliates Cassie in public simply because she is Black, to show Cassie that having a place of their own is the Logans family's lifeblood. It is the land that gives the Logans their courage and pride, for no matter how others may degrade them, the Logans possess something no one can take away. I'm excited about this, and I have not read this book. I've not read any of these books, which is a whole different story that I'm coming across in my life when I am homeschooling my girls, just really finding out things about myself. But I'm excited to read this with her. As I said, hopefully my goal is for us to do this as a read aloud, but I know that my time is limited with having 2 other children to homeschool. So we'll see how that goes. That'll be my goal. Okay, next up, I took a trip to our local homeschool store. It's about an hour and a half away from where we are. And I decided to, because of Jennifer again over at Family of 3 Homeschool, she recommended a lot of the critical thinking workbooks. I already have a couple of them. We have used Critical Thinking Press previously in previous years for math for my oldest daughter. So when I went to the homeschool store, I just immediately went to the critical thinking section and decided to grab tons of books there for super, super cheap, guys. The first one is I grabbed a Mindbenders book. This is for my baby girl. It says for pre-K and kindergarten. I'm excited about this because I did not even know that they had Mindbenders for this age, actually. I don't know what I thought. I didn't even think about it. But we have this Mindbenders, and I believe this book was about $3. I'm not really sure how much it is directly from Critical Thinking Company's website, but I know it's not going to be $3. So we have that one. And I love going to this homeschool store. I've shared it before, but everything that you purchase in there, because it's consignment, goes back to a homeschool family. That is actually truly a blessing. I love that, being able to help support your community in some way by buying old material that they're no longer using. The next book that I grabbed is Sentence Diagramming. This is the beginning level, grades 3 through 12. My girls will be doing some diagramming within their grammar curriculum for the upcoming school year, but it's different. It's not the same as what Critical Thinking Company has within this book. I'm trying to get to the page here. But I thought this would be awesome. There's lots of different opportunities for sentence diagramming here within this book. I also found this at the homeschool store, and it says $4.99, but I know it was cheaper than that because they have a percentage off of everything. So maybe $3.99 or so, which is an awesome steal of a deal. So I'm excited to get them into this. As I said before, I don't know exactly how I'm going to incorporate these supplemental resources, but I do know that they're very useful, and I will come out with a schedule. So be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any of that. The next one that I picked up is for grades 3 through 5, and this is Think Analogies, Learning to Connect Words and Relationships. Grades 3 through 5, yes. So this will cover both of my middle daughters. Now, this one did have some writing in the front, but I was just really able to just erase it, which is perfect. They used maybe like 5 pages of it. I believe I got this book for about $2. So we're going to be using that one. The next one I grabbed is for my middle daughter, and this is Inference Jones, beginning level. This is for grades 3 and 4. She is going to the 4th grade. Inferences is something that she really needs to strengthen in understanding that not everything is in plain text. You're not going to see the exact answer written word for word within your text. You're going to have to dive into it and maybe see what they are inferring, which we talk about inferences, to get to your answer. I did discover that with her Wordly Wise and doing reading comprehension, that was something that we needed to place a little bit more time on. And so when I came across this book, I thought I would grab it. I believe it was like $5 too, maybe. The next one that I grabbed was the Critical Thinking Detective Book 1, and this is for grades 4 through 12. So this will cover both of my older daughters. I believe we're going to do this as a group and just basically read the stories, figure out who done it. That's basically what it is. Lots of, I believe there are 20, I think, detective stories where you have to figure out who the guilty party and whatever it is. These are fun. I remember doing things like this when I grew up with my mother, just at home in general, crossword puzzles and things like that. So I'm excited to get in this. It kind of brings back a little nostalgia for me. Okay, I'm missing a book. Oh, no, I'm not. It's here. Here we go. The next thing I found, if you watched my 5th grade curriculum video, I believe. I'll link it down below, but my oldest daughter is going to be doing debate, and I bought these debate cards for her to work on debate. Well, lo and behold, when I go into the homeschool store, I see debating in the middle school grades. No, she's not in middle school. 5th grade is not considered middle school, but she's super smart and she loves to debate. Really loves to debate. So we are going to go through this debate book. I thought this would be great. There are 120 debate topics here. And in the front of the book, it also goes through the proper way to debate, which I thought was really important. That's the one thing about the debate cards that is not included from what I've seen is the proper steps to a structured, well-structured debate. So that's why I went ahead and grabbed this book, $2. The next one that I grabbed, and this will be for both of my girls, is Public Speaking for Kids. They don't get a whole lot of public speaking opportunities, especially with being homeschooled. Now, they talk to people all the time, but when you're talking about public speaking, that's a whole different story. They do speeches at church every so often, but I just thought public speaking is something that is important in everyday conversation, along with formal public speaking, reading your essay that you wrote or an excerpt from a book that you're going to write. I'm speaking that into existence because my oldest daughter is always talking about writing books, and I am encouraging that and really pushing her in that direction and giving her the confidence that she needs to write a book because she can do it. So I thought public speaking would be great. It gives all of the details of public speaking, how to put your points down, your outline, everything that you need for public speaking. Moving to the next thing, for our history, we will be using O Freedom. We started out using that curriculum last year and just stopped because it was too much reading coupled with other curriculum that we were using. I decided to go back to that this year. But the more I started thinking about it, I needed something else added with that. Another perspective, an added piece to it. History is just one of those things that I have really struggled with putting it together for our family. And I'm hoping that this will make the pieces come together. It brings a different perspective and it will fit more for our family to give us the whole picture. So in addition to using O Freedom, we are going to be using America's Story by MasterBooks. And this is America's Story 1. I was able to find this off of the Facebook Marketplace for about $30. I got the teacher's manual, and I also got the textbook. I'm excited about this. The great thing about these is that in your table of contents, it gives you the subject area, the specific time frame. Some pages were out of there. The specific time frame that you're going to be working with. And I am going to couple that with our O Freedom curriculum. Now, this will take us a little bit longer to get through the curriculum, but I'm in no hurry. My girls are 5th, 4th, and kindergarten. We are going to be talking about history until the end of the earth. So I'm not rushing through it, but I definitely want to make sure that I give them a wide range of information about history. This textbook looks really interesting. There are different projects that go along with it. I have a friend of mine who has used America's Story and really enjoyed it. I'm wanting to use this to give us that full paintbrush coverage for our history. Do I think it's going to be 100% cover everything exactly how I want it covered? No. However, using those two resources together is going to give us a great picture of the historical events that we will be studying throughout the school year. Okay. Next up is for my baby girl. I've shared with you her curriculum and what she's going to be using, but I have a supplement that I'm adding in. We used the Letter of the Week curriculum this past school year. She absolutely loved it. We moved at our own pace, hands-on, exactly what she needed. And in my process of trying to find curriculum, I decided that I was moving away from that or not going to the next step. There is a next level, which is this. It is the K-545 curriculum, still by Erica over at Confessions of a Homeschooler. But I use this, it's a kindergarten curriculum. I use this for my 2 oldest daughters. And why do we do that? Why do we just throw out a curriculum? I don't even know, because we're getting to a different child. I don't know, but I had this all ready to go. It is hands-on, exactly what she likes. Let me open up this binder and show you. And I will do a detailed flip through of this because I think it is awesome. But the lesson plans give you every day of what you're supposed to do. The first couple of weeks, go through a review of letters and numbers. I have the binders already made together. Math games, do you see it? It's full of stuff. In-page protectors, ready to go for her. We have all of the manipulatives that go along with this curriculum. We also have the alphabet review, which is one of the first things that she'll be working on, but I have this all laminated and ready, you guys. It is perfect for her. It's the kind of information that she is accustomed to. I'm going to use this as a supplement. It will not be her main curriculum for reading and math, but it will definitely come into play a lot because I believe that with her reading or phonics curriculum and math, that she's gonna go through that fairly quickly each day. So I'm hoping to have these types of things that are more hands-on, something that she's used to anyway, to bring back that familiarity from using the letter of the week curriculum. That is my plan. I think it's going to work beautifully. I have not finished this one, but this is the phonics games, which for Logic of English Foundations A, which is what she'll be using for phonics, there are games incorporated in that. But I was super excited because I'm like, I can add in these games as well to go along with that curriculum. Just adds another dimension. Another one here, this is the numbers review binder. And it just has lots of hands-on things. It's all laminated. I did all of this all those years ago, put it in page protectors, laminated it. It's ready. It is all ready. This is kind of heavy, but ready to go. Shapes and colors and spelling, and I'm just super excited about this.